I'm all over the place. And when I'm all over the place, it comes out all over the place, and I don't even know what I'm talking about. So let's try to get this right. Kisses to my subscribers. Thank you so much for your love and support. I had so much fun today. It was great. Thank you so, so much. And I really didn't even want to get off. I really didn't. So I'm going to get started. Little bits in there with Dad, and I got to get back. So Meghan, to me, has made a major mistake. And if I'm correct, I may or may not be correct. They're investigated it, and when they realized that it wasn't nothing, no one got a ticket, no one got arrested, everybody went their way, and case closed. So how did it become a chase for 2 hours, catastrophic, where Meghan and Harry were in a car chase, just like Diana from the paparazzis? How ironic. Meghan thinks she's playing this role in a movie, and then she's going to make it up as she go. They were following her and taking pictures of them two. And like the cab driver said, what did the cab driver see differently than the security guard? I don't believe it. I don't believe it. We're talking about two manipulatives. My mom texted me and told me, "Did you hear about Meghan? She could have been killed." I said, "Mom, don't do that." I said, "Don't go there." I said, "I'm going to call you later and I'm going to explain to you what's going on, and then we'll go from there." I said, "Because that's not true." And I said, "You saw the mayor, Mom. You know the mayor was upset and not liking that he had to come out and say anything about Meghan and her shenanigans. Meghan draws trouble and issues wherever she goes. And here we are. She's an issue. She was an issue for the royal family, for the British people, and now she's an issue over here for the mayor of New York, because she's running around lying on their paparazzi. That they do this all the time. This is their job. They get paid to be paparazzis. It's a job. It's a real thing. You know, someone needs to do a movie or something about paparazzi, because Meghan and Harry is trying to give them a bad name. But without them, then where would she be? If they didn't take a picture of her, then we wouldn't see her on the mountain doing this. Or it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And Harry keeps going along with this stupid stuff. He filming it because she didn't told him to. "Film it, Harry, film it." And then he got the camera going. And ain't nothing going on. And the cab driver just looking like, On the way home, what sense does this make? Let's start here. Let me look at my notes. I usually do good when I do that. So Meghan puts out a statement that 2 pedestrians could have got killed. I'm paraphrasing. Could have got killed. And due to the paparazzi's reckless drive, chasing them. And it could have been. Look how she coulda, woulda, shoulda. Blame. Let's blame all day long. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, doulda. Blame. It's their fault. It happened. That's why Harry is hanging on by a thread. He's really not. He's just hanging on. And as soon as WME get her good enough, he's out. Here's the deal. She gets in the car and tells us, and so it's catastrophic. And so breaking news this morning, everybody, Meghan could have been in a terrible accident. Who reports something that could have been? Usually when you could have been in an accident, you see the evidence. There's no evidence showing that she could have been. There's no video, there's no street light, there's no witnesses. You got one witness saying that she saw the paparazzi get behind them and she felt like they were gonna be rowdy. That's some stupid. You don't know? You don't know that you follow them? Did Meghan call you on the phone and say, "Look, we leaving now, this is where we at"? Did she explain to you what was going on? It didn't make any sense. Let's keep going. So they get in the car. They're driving around for 2 hours. 2. And my first thought, my second and third and fifth and sixth thought now is, okay, if this was so dangerous and everybody was in trouble, on the street and chasing you, imagine chasing. Now, I would think if someone's chasing me and they said that their statement came across like they were frightened and scared. Harry's scared. He wasn't scared when he walked up in there and opened the door for he wasn't scared when Meghan's accessory went open and opened the door and shutting it for her and holding her handbag and looking like her accessory. And they don't look in love, so stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it. And that speech. If I may have said it because I had to say this video again. I had to do the video again. So if I've already said it, sorry, I'm going to say it again. She went up there and patted herself on the back and started praising herself and telling how she became a feminist at a young age and became an activist as an adult. You can't even make this stuff up. Who brags on themselves while getting an award? I've never seen it. Usually there's humility and you talk about, I just thank, everyone for their support and stuff. No, she's patting herself on the back. You can be that too. That's what she tells us. She looks at us and says, all the young people, you can do this too, and giving them advice and stuff. My daughter's not listening to that. Don't listen to her. She's a manipulator. She'll say one thing and then she'll go and do another. Her poor father. I bet he was like, look at this. First, she disrespects me by not calling me and checking on me as her father, as a father. Here's the deal. Meghan give us no other reason why she should stop talking to her father other than the paparazzi. The same people she needed when she was on the mountain doing this. But she treats the same people she calling, those paparazzis that she's calling and giving tips to, they should be offended about the way she's treating their comrades. Those are your partners in crime. Those people in New York, California, and Montecito, those paparazzis that's your group that she's attacking. And if she can keep attacking you guys, she's gonna bring y'all right out of business. She was not going to be able to do that, but no, she gets in the car and she says that they're chasing her. First of all, you can't chase anyone in Manhattan. You can't chase anyone in New York because it is tight. You can't even drive in New York. It's not even ever hard. You take a taxi and you get on the L. You get on the subway. I think it's called the L. You get on the subway. But you do not get in a car and drive around. The first time you do that, that's the last time you would do that. You don't, It is not those kind of streets. It is busy. New York is like Vegas. And I was over there at the Real House, the Grifter, I think. Yes. She said, she lives in New York. And she called the New York, she called the mayor, and just go over there and check it out. But the point is that, and there's lights after lights after lights. Like you're always running into a light. So they would have to run every light or something stupid like that. It didn't make sense. And then Meghan and Harry said that they were running lights and all on the sidewalk, and the story then went all into that. It was catastrophic. So that means it was death on death's door, which means she felt she could have died in this situation. Her, Harry, and Doria, because they were being chased. You're not being chased. You were probably being followed, but you wasn't being chased. So you exaggerate the story like you do everything else. You did that on the Oprah show when you told us that they said that that the family was racist. And you know that the royal family isn't racist because you wasn't even in the room when the conversation went down. That's the scary part about Meghan, is that she wasn't even in the room during the conversation. So how does she know if it was racism or not? How do you know that? And then she lies, she fabricates it, she adds a twist to it and says the kids are not going to get their titles, and they ended up getting them. But the point is that Meghan makes up these stories and thinking that she's in like she's acting, like her real life is acting. I believe she's enjoying the drama, she's enjoying the attention, she likes to be a victim. Because I don't know about you, but I wouldn't have been caring about some paparazzis that were following me. Of course, if I'm trying to get home and they keep messing with me, then I would be like, listen, guys, move. I'm going home and you messing with me or something. Call the police. I heard she had assistance. I heard that she had police assistance. Nah, stories are still coming out. I got to figure that one out. I don't know for sure. Allegedly. These are all my thoughts and opinion. But you get in the car and you and Harry filming everything around you like you did on that docuseries, and wasn't nobody in New York. Just like last time on the scooter, when she's talking about the scooter and stuff, did no scooter happen. They debunked all of that. They're not riding on scooters backwards over here. She's lying. It's despicable. What I thought it was six SUVs, okay? 6 SUVs. How can 6 SUVs chase one car? Now, if I have that number wrong, fine. But even her chasing them through the streets of Manhattan, Midtown, no, can't do that. There's too many police, like the grifter said, there's too many police officers. And I think I said it on my earlier video. There's too much going on. It's lit up. It's like Grand Central Station. It's lit. I wanted to show you guys something. I have a picture when I was in New York. They painted me. It was back in 2004. They have vendors everywhere. There's vendors in these places that if you look like you want to get on the sidewalk, you will kill a whole bunch of people. There's vendors selling Gucci bags, purses, Louis Vuitton, whatever, hats and everything. Like it's something. And so that it's just not true. And then while you're talking about the 2 people that's at the corner, if you cared, then why would you ride around for 2 hours putting citizens in danger? Here's the dealio. Here's the dealio. If she was so concerned about those 2 people that were at the corner that her and Harry spotted, while running, how fast was they going? And why was they running from someone that was just trying to take their picture? Did they have a gun in the car? Seriously, because it could have been catastrophical, and if it could have been all of that, it could have been deadly. If it could have been deadly, then why would you continue to ride around putting your life and the others in danger? And someone that really cared and was an influencer and an activist for women and all this other crap, humanitarian that you say that you are, then why would you continue the chase if you knew that you would be a part of harming someone? Wouldn't you just pull over and be like, listen, stop following me, tell the security guard, listen, move. What kind of security that she has that she couldn't get out the car and tell them, listen, stop following me. I'm trying to get where I need to go. The story doesn't make sense. No. So no, she's worried about the 2 pedestrians, but she didn't pull over. She didn't pull over until she decided she needed to change her car. If you were in danger from the paparazzi, because you would think that if it was this bad, why didn't she call the police? because she had a police escort. I heard that there were police around her. And like I said, let's don't talk about that story because I haven't got that one ironed out yet. So let's skip that. Forget I put that in there because it's got to make sense to me. And I know she's not that stupid. But how is... Yeah, she is. How are you going to say that there were two people over there that could have got killed and there was some more cars and all this kind of stuff going on around you that could have been an issue, but you continue on in the car running from the paparazzi? You don't have to run from the paparazzi. The paparazzi ain't chasing you. They follow you. I didn't know that they could chase you. And so she's got the word chase and catastrophic, deadly, and mimicking Diana's, what happened to Diana? Like, not mimicking, what would you call it? Rehearsing it, reinventing it? Like, stop it. It's just disgusting. It is. For her to want it, now it's just desperatism for no reason. She had a night last night, and this is what she did. Either she brought this attention because she wanted people to know that she had got an award, and enough people wasn't paying attention to her. It wasn't on the news. Check this out. You know how in the UK, the royals are always in the papers daily. Not Meghan and Harry over here. No, they're like celebrities now, meaning they're just a celebrity. They're royals, but they're a celebrity. I don't know if I can explain that as much as I can, but the paparazzi, the taxi driver, don't see Meghan as Princess Duchess of Sussex. They just see Meghan as a celebrity. And like the taxi driver said, he says, no, it's the regular things that they do. When I get someone, a famous person in my car, this always happens. You know, they want to take a picture and get a shot. And usually once they get the shot, they just go on. But Meghan then was not in any kind of harm. Well, they wasn't in any kind of harm when they got to me. He said, this is a normal day. So that was debunked. But then here's the thing. They're after you with a camera. And she running for her life while they chasing her. No, she wants to be Diana so bad it's gonna kill her. Stop trying to reenact something that when you would never be Diana. Stop it. It's disgusting. You can't tell me William is just probably just like, this is just, I can't. I can't. My brother has really done it now. And I think that they think Harry's in trouble. And I think Harry's in trouble too. He is not in a stable situation at all. Meghan has never been this famous. And now that she's this famous or this known, not this famous, this known, because no award is going to bring out the good in this woman. I'm sorry. In that speech, she can tell it to someone else. Because I'm sick of her bragging on herself. I'm sick of her telling us what she's done and what she's going to continue to do, which is nothing. Let me go on. So, okay. So Meghan decides to keep driving around for 2 hours, being chased and almost killed, and other people on the street. She didn't think about them either because she's thinking about herself. She's got to get away. Because if you were in that much danger from the paparazzi, why did you pull over and get in another car? Who would get out and get into another car? Who would get out? Someone's chasing you for dear life. You have time to pull over and get into another car because you got Doria, you got the security guard, you got Harry and Meghan, and then you got the taxi. Here's the deal. It sounds like the So the security guard pulled the taxi over and said, "We need you," I guess, whatever. To my understanding, the police was on the scene during the taxi time, and then, and then, um, and then the taxi took them home. I think, I'm not sure. The story is still developing. I think the police was on the scene during the taxi moment. And the photographers, the paparazzi came out with a statement and said, and I probably have already said this, we were not chasing her. And they were under the feeling, they didn't feel like Meghan and Harry, or they made them stress out or do any of that. They said, no, that is not how it went down. That was not the meaning in anything. They were just there to take photographs. That's it. The statement was really good. They were clearing their name, in which I think that they did. Because they didn't get arrested. They didn't get a ticket. They didn't get a warning. They said, listen, get your picture and go home. And they told Meghan, they can take a picture of you because you're over here. No one's after you. No one's after you. It's crazy. No one's after you. No, and she knows it. It's just a ruse. It's just a fake. I think she wants attention to say, look, I got an award. But don't bring drama and negative to you. Don't bring more questions and answers to you. Your story doesn't make sense at any level. And that word catastrophic that is going, it's everywhere. Boom, 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 boom. How was it almost that? The police would have never let them go. And the mayor was being nice by saying that it was, if it was 2 hours, that was never going to happen. He said 10 minutes. You can't even chase anyone in 10 minutes, let alone 2 hours. What does that tell you? That she wasn't being chased for 2 hours. And the fakery of it all, them running and getting into other cars and stuff. What are you getting in another car for? Well, so you can get home quicker so they can stop following you? You said they was chasing you, and then when you got in the taxi, what they stopped chasing you after you got into a new car? What was different? No, something about the police was there by then. But like the taxi driver said, at that particular time, so, because he said, Meghan them said, drive me back. First she was going to tell them to drive. So I believe that Meghan and Harry, them, ended up at the police station. Okay? Then, something, and I don't know what happened there. I just don't. But I do know that the taxi driver said that Meghan them said that, take us back to the precinct. And then they changed their mind and said, no, they're not following us. Just take us to our hotel. Which tells me that something was worked out and it was moved on. And then she comes out with a statement this morning and blows it all out of proportion and all out the door. To the point where the mayor of New York City had to get on and say something. Because he doesn't want that kind of drama in his city. It's in the United States, this is how it goes. No mayor, no senator, no one that's from here that is a public figure or someone that is taking care of us in public office, like the mayor. He doesn't want stuff like that in his city and that going on in his city because he's trying to protect all his people. And so when Meghan came out with that statement, it flew him into damage control. Because how dare she be chased in her city and she die on here? Because that's the alarm bell that Meghan sent off. And that's why that when she gets on this docuseries and do all these Spotifys and spare books and stuff like that and go on the royal family, it's dangerous. It's very dangerous what she does. Because it affects others, other people get hurt, and even the paparazzi. Like I said, they have a job to do. Now she harassing them. That's how I see it. They were following her. Unless I can know that they jumped the curb, ran a red light, or did anything unlawful, because they didn't do anything unlawful, because they would be in jail. If they had to jump the curb, like, are you chasing these people? No, they were not being chased. So I was watching Dan Whitten earlier, one of those stations, and his name is Bo. He used to work as a police officer in New York City, but last night he was down there for Kim Kardashian doing something at a pavilion, and he was like, "There's paparazzis down here with me and Kim. They're everywhere. They were especially there with Kim. They were everywhere. Maybe she needed some attention turned on her. Maybe there was too many events going on in New York City, and Kim is getting a lot. There's no brainer. People want to see. Meghan, not so much. One of the not at all. One of the reporters, he was British, he yelled at her. He said, "Meghan, how does it feel knowing that you broke up two families, that you destroyed two families, that you're responsible, She is responsible for this. She is responsible for causing an uproar over her and Harry's shenanigans. And I don't know if they're running out of money and they need it really bad for security, but why would we pay for their security? Why would we pay for a celebrity security? They're celebrities, so they do need celebrity. They do need heavy security. She does, and I'm confused on why she had one driver, one security guard riding with them. Like my husband said, they didn't have like a motorcade or they ain't getting that kind of treatment. They left the royal family. But I would have had like a couple of people in the car, security. No, did they roll in like that? But wasn't anybody after them. There wasn't no mugger, there wasn't no killer, there wasn't no shooter or nothing. They were just trying to get the picture, but they wasn't chasing them to get the picture. They was not. They were following them. And then at the end of the night, Meghan was like, "I just don't want them to know where I'm staying." Fine. There is nothing wrong with you not wanting that. That is such a good thing. You don't want them because they will take your picture the next morning. But you can't escape the paparazzi. They're not going anywhere. I'm not making excuses. Let me see if I'm done. Catastrophic. Now she's got people over here panicking. You can't tell me the New York mayor isn't upset. He's upset. And I believe he grilled her and asked her questions and said, before you come out with a statement, this was not what it was. It wasn't a 2-hour chase. And now he had to correct it because it doesn't make sense. Her statement isn't logical. It doesn't fit in New York City. Her statement doesn't fit. This is what the New York mayor was telling me. He said, what she said, recollections may vary. Like the Queen said. Like, that's not how it went. But she's going to try to convince, all you got to do is drop that line. And then, drop it. And people will run with it and believe it. Like my mom thinks that something, not thinking anything other than, oh my God, is Meghan okay? No, she lied. She is a manipulator to the fullest. And I don't think that she can continue with these shenanigans because you can't cry woof. You cannot cry woof. My mom was like, after I explained it to her, she was like, oh. She said she could probably get into some legal trouble. I mean, she should be accountable for false alarms. for saying she was chaste and she wasn't, to assume and insinuate. What does she do all the time, guys? Assume and insinuate and blame. It didn't happen, but if it had to happen. Nobody lives on if it had to happen. Because the previous bit has to make sense. Because the 2 hours ain't making sense. Why you jumping in the vehicles ain't making sense. And why you running from a camera. And then the next day she'll get up and call the paparazzi and say, I'm at Dairy Queen. But she ain't gonna be at Dairy Queen because she too good for that. And then she was up on the stage. They were like talking about Jeopardy and the same old stuff. How many times have we heard that? WME, you couldn't come out with another speech for her? This publicity stunt, if it is, it didn't go well because she's caught up in her fabricated lies. There is no way you can drive around for 2 hours in a chase in New York. You can't do that in Texas. You can't do that nowhere. You can't do that in Texas. They will find you. They will get you. They will have a helicopter. They don't play. She exaggerated. And then the cab driver said, I don't know if he said he felt that they were nervous. He said, but they seemed okay. And they were just asking him how he was doing. This girl is something. I think I'm almost done, guys. You tell me what you think. I know we're still unraveling this. And it's still ongoing, but the headlines over here is, it seems like she's the victim. Over here, she's the victim. Excuse me. Over here, Meghan is the victim. Oh, poor Meghan. Is she okay? Yes, right now, her and Harry are the victims. They have turned into victims again. And it could have been deadly, like his mother. Why would she or he say stuff like that and bring it out? Like, why do they do that to themselves? Why does she keep comparing herself to Diana? Does she want to die like Diana? I think Meghan likes drama. I do. I think she likes drama. She has to, because she has a lot of it. A lot of it. There is never a break with her. Every day she's doing or saying or doing something. And people over here are getting sick of it. You can't tell me those people in California are not calling each other up and saying, did you hear? They're not calling Meghan, maybe a few. Because here's another reason why she probably did it. Because victimhood is working for Meghan, she thinks. So I guess she wanted to, you can't tell me she's not waiting on them phone calls to say, are you okay? How you doing? Because when they were on the docuseries, you had Beyonce calling and you had Tyler Perry praying with her. And then you had Oprah and the rest of that gang that was on there that were poor Meghan. And Gayle does it too. Gayle, they know their truth. They know what's going on over there. That's what Gayle said. And so do you, Gayle. Nothing. Your girl continues to lie. But it's almost, how can I say it like this? It's so overly exaggerated. And the thing about Meghan's exaggeration and the things that she does, it affects everyone around her. Look how the paparazzi have become, they were doing their job and they ended up, not in jail or nothing like that. Just nothing. Take the picture and go home. And then they put out their statement. And then you got the taxi driver. Like, why are y'all interviewing me? I do this every day. This is not nothing new. This is crazy. I bet he's telling all his friends, like, man, did you see me on TV? They wanted to interview me. And he didn't care that Meghan and Harry was in the car. It wasn't like, ooh, can I have your autograph? He said, we get them all day long. That's how you know Megan's brand isn't on the up and up. Why didn't she have people outside like Catherine waiting on her at the award show clapping? And we don't do that over here, but I'm just saying. No, ain't nobody clapping and standing outside saying, "Go, Megan, we love you." No, they was yelling at her to turn around so they could get a picture. And one guy said, "Megan, how does it feel you tearing up two families?" She doesn't care. She brought her mother because her mother is her inspiration. Then she started talking about Doria, how her mother is her, inspired her. And okay. Inspired you to do what? Cut your father off? Because the only thing that she said that her father has done, and I know I said this earlier, was the paparazzi thing. And she does it all day long. It's crazy. How is she going to build a brand, WME, with the drama? Is this part of the PR team plan? It doesn't look good when your girl's running around lying on the New York mayor and saying how she was the damsel in distress. She's always the damsel in distress. It's always something going on. You never hear about Kate cutting her finger or nothing stupid like that. It's always Meghan having close calls. Close calls. Why would you talk about that? And I'm done. Either you want to bring attention to your night to know that you are on your way to get your Women's of the Award so we can listen to your speech. So we can look, why did she get an award and get all into that? Bring attention to that. Or bring attention to the fact that you guys need security and this is why. Or you just like the drama and the fairy tale and of being, in the news all the time and being talked about, whether it's good or bad, it doesn't matter to you. You just love it all. It's a situation. And I really do believe that the mayor of New York was not, I just don't believe that he would be happy with the outcome. I can't imagine that he was happy with the outcome because he's trying to protect his city. And then she's over there with her shenanigans talking about she's being chased for 2 hours. I wonder what her girl Oprah Winfrey has to say about her incident. I wonder did Oprah call her up and check on her and say, "Hey girl, you okay?" No, I don't trust her. I don't trust a woman that would drive around for 2 hours being chased and put other civilians' lives on the line because she's trying to get away from paparazzi. And then she switches cars, but she's in so much danger. They're about to kill her. Why would you hop out of one disaster and then get into another? Or okay, nope. The cab driver took her back to get in her car. I think I don't know, but I don't know what the cab situation was. It makes no sense why they pulled over, jumped out of that one, and then got into what they were trying to do, escape? Stop running. No, you're not they're following you. You stop running. I think I would have said, listen, the paparazzi is behind me. We've been driving around for about 30 minutes and I'm ready to go home and I'm tired and they just won't stop. Can you do something about this? And I would have handled it. But I definitely wouldn't have got up the next day talking about I almost died. And then 2 other people almost died. And then some other people almost got hurt. I wouldn't have never done that. No, just like she told us, Archie almost burnt up in the nursery. Meghan has a lot more she wants to say and wants to talk about, but it sounds like she just keeps repeating herself. Listen, I'm out of here, guys. Sorry if I kept you too long. Let me know what you think. This is my first take. This thing is going to grow. It's been growing all day. But I think Meghan, it's just, she can't do that over here. She can't do that. It's different. It's just different. And they will investigate. And if she's telling lies, they will, find her. They will press charges against her. If she is telling lies on people, she could get into some trouble because the paparazzi have a right to take pictures. Not to, I don't know about the following. That might be a bit much. I don't know if you guys should have been following them. But, let it go. 2 hours? I don't think it was 2 hours. But what was interesting is the cab driver said they just went around the block. It doesn't take 10 or 15 minutes to go around the block. Depending on what time of day. I don't know how busy it was. And so that's why her story, they wasn't flying through the city, because you can't. Your speed limit is like 25, 30, if that.